Good afternoon, and thank you to the Eyecelerator organization for giving me this opportunity to speak and introduce VivaVision and just share with everybody what we're doing at VivaVision. So imagine waking up every day with just severe eye pain where light feels like a needle, or blinking your eye every time and the pain reminds you that your immune system is attacking your own eyes. That's the daily reality for many patients who do suffer from chronic ocular inflammatory disease. You know, steroids work, but again, many of these patients need chronic treatment, and so the price of glaucoma or cataracts is just too high to pay. So we at VivaVision are trying to change that. We're trying to change this with our lead asset, VVN-461, which is the first JAK1 TYK2 inhibitor eye drop, and we are trying to address inflammation at its core. We're trying to target the master switch of the cytokine signaling mechanism in the eye without systemic effects. We're trying to quiesce the immune response at the transcription level. So we're trying to be able to do no steroids, steroid effect, no systemic effect, just precision therapy. We've demonstrated VVN-461's efficacy in a US phase 2 study in post-op inflammation. We presented this at AAO last year and is published in Ophthalmology Science. And in this study, we demonstrated the efficacy of VVN-461. And in parallel comparison, you can see that VVN-461's efficacy is similar or on par to many of the well-known corticosteroids today. We further demonstrated VVN-461 efficacy in a phase 2 China study, this time in non-infectious anterior uveitis, and we targeted this directly against 1% prednisone acetate. And in this study, we showed that VVN-461 was superior in efficacy over pred acetate. We also shared this at AO last year and is published in Ophthalmology. We believe VVN-461s have multiple applications beyond non-infectious anterior uveitis. There are many chronic ocular inflammatory diseases where VVN-461 can play a pivotal role in treating. Diseases such as ocular graft versus host, scleritis, or pediatric chronic uveitis, for example, GIA with uveitis. We also think that this asset has applications in the back of the eye. So we have two programs for the back of the eye. One is as a suprachoroidal injection, the other as a intravitreal implant, PLGA implant. And both of these so far have shown good preclinical results. We see sustainability in the dose up to 6 months. So this asset, at least internally, we call this a pipeline in a molecule. Yeah? We're going to be proceeding with our phase 3 trial in non-infectious anterior uveitis in the US this year. We also have 2 proof of concept studies, scleritis and OGVHD, in the US this year. In China, we are proceeding with our phase 2 study in Sjögren's dry eye. And later this year, we'll begin our GLP studies for the back of the eye programs. Now, VVN-461, this asset, more than meets the eye, because we also have a program called VVN-432, where basically we are going to the adjacent organ, the nose, specifically in chronic rhinosinusitis. We are finishing up a phase 1B study using chronic rhinosinusitis patients in China, and so hopefully with those positive results, we'll move forward with a phase 2 study later this year. Now, we think there's both clinical as well as economic value with our asset here. We recently ran a study with IQVIA, looking specifically at the US market access strategy, and excuse me, and with IQVIA on NIAU. And from there, we also projected some of what we believe is the market potential for our asset and some of these adjacent indications that I mentioned earlier. So I think what we can appreciate is really the sum of the parts. The sum of the parts of VVN-461 and our other programs is really both clinically meaningful and we think economically meaningful as well. So with that, I want to thank, again, the organizers for this opportunity and appreciate everybody's time. Thank you.